2, 1, action!
I was really glad to be here back for Treasure 2. I wanted to show more of Storm Shadow's character. In this movie, you'll see his anger and intensity much more than the first one.
We find that Storm Shadow is a survivor, and he's on the move.
Snake Eyes believes that Storm Shadow is still alive, and Storm Shadow is his sword brother. They've known each other since they were young boys.
Someone framed Storm Shadow as a murderer of the Hard Master, and even Snake Eyes believed he's the one. That's why they became enemies.
Byung-hun is just an amazing presence. He's handsome, he's tough, but he also has an internal strength to give great dignity to that character.
BH has really been able to take the mask off of Storm Shadow.
Michael Dale.
He said, I want to bring rage into this. To see Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes fight has been really fun. They're badass fighting each other.
I had to train with the Psy a lot because there is a lot of big Psy fighting in this movie.
The size, it was an extension of their punch, that it was almost like brass knuckles.
It's more gritty, hard. Two best mates fighting, just get down to the bare bones. BH, he was meant to be Storm Shadow.
Nice. We have to assume that there's no one we can trust.
There is one man. There's a reason we call ourselves Joes.
Take 2 cases of Thin Mints and a box of Chuckalucks.
I still remember playing with G.I. Joes all the time, and it really is an honor for me to play General Joe Colton, the guy that put this G.I. Joe squad together.
General, call me Joe.
The weaponry on this film was just off the charts. They raised the bar for sure.
Idol's a little rough and neutral. I ain't gonna be in neutral.
We have made a great film. It combines big action stars and huge action.
Lady J's a badass. I mean, she's pretty much the only female in this group, and she has to hold her own. She's a weapons specialist, and she's the intelligence of the group.
What do you got there?
P-Dub 381 Black Tempest, rounds, quarter speed, remote controlled.
When did we get these?
We didn't. We did. Distinguished marksman.
Let me see.
Oh, don't touch. Her father didn't think she should be military because she was a girl, so she has a bit of a chip on her shoulder. This movie is gonna rock. Just go and enjoy the ride, because you're gonna have a blast.
You pull a trigger, I pull a trigger. I don't know if I'm gonna trust a pastry from a gumbo chef. How's your heart rate? That is not gonna count. I get to go again because you talked.
I play Duke, and it is more than cool. You know, he is the leader of the Joes.
Make ready, let's go!
He's no holds barred. He knows he's got to get the mission done. He knows he's got to protect his men, and he'll do anything that it takes to do that.
Drive it like you stole it.
As your good friend, you need a new catchphrase.
You know, G.I. Joe is my childhood. I hope people that watch it love it. That's fun, you know, just to go and have a good time.
No.
Come to daddy.
That's just... Shh. You feel good about that?
The mythology of Roadblock is that he is trained in many different fighting styles. One of which he had trained with Snake Eyes for years. And so when you get introduced to Roadblock, you're able to see many different fighting styles that range from martial arts to what we have called gun kata, where I have these specially designed brass knuckles, basically, that act as brass knuckles that could split your skull, but they also have the ability to attach onto different weapons that are on my vest, from certain blades to certain weapons, Glocks, batons, and they unclick too at the same time. You're able to throw them, utilize them in many, many different ways. You're able to see that type of fighting style. And you're also able to see his brutality. So there's a nice range of fighting styles that he uses. Take an already successful franchise and elevate it, make it better, make it more rooted, more grounded. And in that sense, it was very appealing for me. And then for me, as an actor, to come on board and breathe life into a character that was already a strong character in the G.I. Joe mythology, breathe life into him and make him become a badass. Happens to be the only man on the planet who can physically hold one of the world's largest weapons that is supposed to be mounted on a tank, but he can hold it. You like how I give him that much credit? He's the only one on the planet that could no one else but Roadblock.
Roadblock and Lady J are definitely, I think, a little bit partners in this journey. So, you know, they're on a mission, they're not going to stray from the mission, they need to do what they're there for. And he sees that in her. I think that she is the epitome of what a soldier should be, and I think in his eyes, he definitely respects her. Flint, not so much. I mean, Flint has to gain Roadblock's respect. And I think Lady J's as well. I think that she has a little bit more of like a soft spot for Flint. She is in this group of guys, and she is the lone ranger, ultimately, of the female crew. So she has to really live up to something. So I think that she has a bit of a sass to her and a strength that she's trying to constantly prove herself. But she's also the intelligence of the group. And she's a gun specialist. So she has multiple qualities that they need.
We all knew that there was better. There was a better movie to make, and a more appealing movie to make, and more badass movie to make.
It's an ambitious film, and it is complicated in a lot of ways. It's a big cast. It combines big action, huge action, big action stars.
You know, the special effects aren't CGI'd. It's you know, they're real explosions. We're in the real line of fire. I think the whole point is to make people feel like they're in it with us.
There's huge action in it, and to have a cast this big that finds a way not only to get along themselves, but to develop on-screen relationships that actually work, and it makes it seem like they are a working group and a working machine that all understand what's at stake and what they have to do.
I mean, in rehearsals, for example, even John was in shock. We were doing rehearsals for, I don't know, weeks before we started shooting. And there's a scene where we're like crawling on the ground, and here's The Rock crawling on the ground with us for just hours. You know what I mean? And he just wanted to get in there, and he wanted to be in the trenches with us. And that immediately formed a bond, I think, between all of us, that we're on the same page making this movie.
I think people want to see you beat your best performance and beat your best work and surprise them. There's nothing better than going to the movies and being surprised and going, oh my God, how'd they do that? Whether it's a stunt or whether it's a scene or whether it's a joke that you go, oh my God, it's just so. It's always. It's a great job to have. It's a great job to have to continually challenge yourself to beat your best record. We have made a great film, a really strong, big film. It's going to come out in the summer, and we'll compete with it with everything that's out there. I had a ball working on this film, and we want to do another one.
Ninjas and swords and guns, for sure, galore.
Martial arts is something that I've been really into for most of my life, you know, and I love films that tap into it. And this film actually, you know, the Blind Master is actually playing a Japanese martial artist, you know, somebody that takes up under ninjutsu. And ninjutsu is a very mysterious art, you know what I mean? And to have a chance to be the Blind Master of that art, I was like, yeah, I gotta do this. The unique thing about this character, I think, for the G.I. Joe fans and for the franchise is that the Blind Master has been a character mentioned in the comic books before, but he was never shown on the animation. So there's no real face to this guy. And this will be the first physical appearance we get of him. The Hard Master is all of their masters. And so the Hard Master has been killed. So therefore the Blind Master is the next one in line to be the master. And he is the one that's preparing them, you know, to go out and basically capture their enemy, you know, bring back justice and you know, bring back justice to their clan. You know, Storm Shadow is considered a traitor. And, you know, even though Jinx is Storm Shadow's cousin, and Snake Eyes, you know, a dear friend of his, they have to now pit their friendship and family matters apart and go out and perform their duty. And the Blind Master ensures them of this and commands them of this.
He has an honor as a ninja. And you'll see a lot of fighting in this movie, but one different thing is there are a lot more intensity and power in this fight. Yeah, all the friends in dojo believed Storm Shadow murdered Hard Master, and Jinx was one of them. Of course, Jinx is a cousin of Storm Shadow. Maybe that made her so dishonored and disappointed. So she might be angry a lot more than other friends because they're a family.
Well, I grew up with this idea that Storm Shadow killed the Hard Master, and since then my goal is to have a revenge. At the very beginning, my character is introduced in the dojo with Snake Eyes and the Blind Master, and we're doing a contest to win the Sword of Justice and try to know the truth about Storm Shadow. Snake Eyes is, how do you say, an image, a strong image for Jinx, my character, because we trained in the same dojos, and he's an icon, you know. He's Snake Eyes, he's the coolest, he's the best, and she wants to compete with him, you know. In this test that they have at the beginning, she wants to win, and she wants to prove that she can be better, or at least as good as him.
Snouty Pig. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to watch our other videos, including our top 10 upcoming horror films of 2013 and our extensive behind the scenes inside looks of recent and upcoming films.